Okay, just got one of several deliveries today. I almost always have at least the UPS, the FedEx, and Postal Service. At least 2 of the 3 are here every day, and sometimes I even have 4 if the DHL man comes. But, in any case, what arrived today here is not 1, but 2 rather unique and not very often seen CB radios. What makes these kind of unique is, for starters, these are Whistler 900s, okay, but notice it has 2 channel displays. Now, what this radio, and you hear that beeping, and actually there's a little factory switch here on the back. I'll turn that off to just stop that annoying beep for the moment while I go over the controls. But let's go over to standard layout. Has your mic and RF gains, volume on off. We'll skip these for now. Your SWR calibrate, CVPA, which both of these things are, you can see they're nasty, filthy, decades of grime. When I got these and you powered them up, they are so gunked up internally, the controls that is, that neither of them would work until I flipped the CVPA switch back and forth numerous times until I got the grime off of the contacts on them until they finally CB would actually work. A bright dim. Now it doesn't show up that well on camera, the intensity difference, but there is a very large difference in intensity. When it's in low during the daytime, it's almost impossible to see that, it's so dim. So it'd be perfect for nighttime use, in a vehicle. And then the bright's nice and bright. And I really like this color. It's a amber color, compared to your standard, the old default back in the day was red, which is back pretty much when these radios were made, and then some manufacturers started using green, but amber, that's a really rare color for the a radio of this vintage. And like I say, I prefer that. It's a nice, at nighttime in a vehicle, that's a very non eye-catching color, so it's not drawing your attention away, and like I say, especially with the dimmer circuit, it's not going to be blinding you. Personally, I'm one of those people, I can't stand the blue displays nowadays. I stock almost all of those. Hell, I've got white, orange, violets, greens. I've got channel display colors in pretty much every color of the rainbow, but, I like the very unobtrusive colors, and I would consider this one of them, and like I say, I really like that. It doesn't get that halo effect, I guess you could say. It may show up, it may look like that on camera, but it doesn't. It's a very crisp looking display. But A&L and noise blankers, your selector switch to select between signal RF, SWR, and calibrate. And then, like a lot of radios in the day, they had the either normal, channel 19, or channel 9. Now we'll get into some of the features that make this radio kind of unique. You'll notice it has 2 squelch controls, 2 channel selectors, and then also has these 2 buttons right here for transmit. So let's start with those. Depending on which channel or which transmit button you have pushed in, and you see they're paired together. So when you push one button in, the other one pops out. But depending which one of these buttons you have pushed in dictates which channel you'd be transmitting on when you grab your microphone. Now, what's really unique about this radio is this, with this dual display, is the dual squelches. So I'm going to turn this one down the whole way, and the right hand has an off position. And you see when I turned it off, the right hand channel display disappeared. So that circuit is now off. Only the left is active. So basically right now this is just your standard everyday 40 channel CB radio. But when you turn this right hand squelch on, it activates a completely separate PLL circuit. There's a separate channel selector, separate PLL circuit, has its own independent 10.240 megahertz crystal. A lot of the receiver circuits are duplicated. Some of it's shared, some of it's duplicated, but there's a lot of duplication in this radio because it's basically two radios that share an audio and transmitter circuit. It'd probably be the easiest way to describe it. It's 2 receivers with 2 independent receivers with a single transmitter and audio circuit. Like I said, a lot of the receive is shared between the two. But for demonstration purposes, I'm not going to get into the exact particulars. This is just kind of a preview video. So how this works is, if you have, and the gain on this thing and the squelches are so far out of adjustment internally. I'm sure that I haven't even had the covers off. I'm sure they need to be recapped and have alignments done. But the way this works is when you have both of the channels activated. Now you hear that break and squelch? That's actually channel 7. Well, actually, I don't know because I've got the beep turned off. So if I hit that little switch, there is a switch on the back of these. The light swung around here. You can see right there. It says beep. So when you turn that switch, it turns the beep off. And the beep, okay, so that means that beep, as a matter of fact, it just beeped. That means channel 19 is now active. Anytime it breaks squelch, when the beep's turned on, anytime your right-hand channel breaks squelch, it beeps. Anytime the left-hand channel breaks squelch, it doesn't. So, right hand. Left hand. So, that's, excuse me, it's a handy feature, and you can hear, my God, how crunchy and screwed up these controls are. Like I said, they definitely need a good spray of deoxit in there. But, unlike your modern radios that have, there's, being able to scan 2 channels is nothing uncommon. I mean, you can go down, if we go down here and look at the, there's a good example, modern Uniden Bearcat 980 SSB. That radio is a scanning radio. You can program it as many frequencies as you want, but it's actually only listening to 1 channel at a time. Okay, this radio is actually monitoring and listening to 2 channels at a time. That's what makes it really unique, the dual PLL circuit in it. So, like I said, they're basically collector's items. Been looking for one of these for years and years, and one of those radios just never really got around to getting, and 2 of these popped up, so latched onto them. But, like I say, this is just a preview video. At least one of these will get completely restored, clean all the grime off the faceplate, clean all the switches and all the controls, get recapped and alignment done. And depending on what condition the other one's in, might just go ahead and redo both of them. But if I get around to doing that, because that takes time. You get too many customers' radios to do. But excuse me. But when I do get into one of these things, what I'll do is I'll make another video so you can actually see the circuitry. Like I say, I haven't even cracked one open yet. I just basically unboxed them, plugged them in, turned one on, thought, make a quick preview video, and stick this on so you guys can see actually what one of these things looks like and how horrendous a condition they're currently in. Oh, one other thing. With the Signal SWR calibrate switch here, now you'll notice there is an LED out right there. That's another thing that'll get fixed. But when you switch between your Signal RF, your SWR, and calibrate, it actually changes which of the lettering is illuminated. So there's an SWR, and there's an calibrate. So that's kind of an interesting little feature there too. Like I say, you don't see a lot of radios that have the little LED display that bounces around like that in different locations. So, but there we go, the Whistler 900 dual channel receiving radio.